you are all in with your business, as I am, and if you truly are motivated to stay on social media, as I am, for like the rest of my life, and if you are similar to me, and if you resonate with the way that I am and think, I want to share these lessons that I learned by hiring a social media coach to grow both on Instagram and YouTube. Because if you are like me, I believe it will really help you in finding the right strategy for you, and if that works for you. Because the truth is that with all of these social media gurus, they don't work for everyone, and that's the point. That's the thing. Let's go to my experience. So this coach has over 750,000 of followers on YouTube, and who knows how many others on Instagram and TikTok. So I was following him for a while, right? And I said, well, he must know what he talks about. Like, I mean, look, yes, all those followers, he must know. And I must say that I have been following many different gurus, many content creators that help other content creators. I've started doing it months before I actually went out on YouTube, because I wanted to understand what to do to be on YouTube, right? And social media. So I have invested before that. But then basically, the more you proceed, the more things you have to learn, right? And once that you learn the basics, consistency and all the pressure and all the stuff that the beginning is stopping you, then it's about, getting better and actually growing, right? It's like the second phase that we want to move through. And so I understood that there was a time to make a new investment, and I bought this coaching program for Instagram and YouTube together. It was 1 month coaching program structured in a way that he would give me a program to say all the things that I had to do according to my goals and my niche. And every 2-3 days, he would check my account and he would tell me what was wrong and what was not wrong, right? So it was kind of like a really pressured coaching program to tell me what I was doing wrong or what I was doing right. So let's go in order. The coaching and the objectives. It was growing on Instagram and YouTube. And therefore, the first thing that he told me was to focus on my niche. So I had to give him the topics I wanted to talk about. And what he would do for me, he would give me the competitors that were talking about the same topics. And the core strategy that he gave me was like, look at topics that people are talking about, that are interesting about, for which you see that there are a lot of views, like thousands of views on the recent topics, because that means that there is a demand for that. And if there is a demand, you're sure that you're going to succeed, right? Because there's people that want to know about that. So this is the biggest tip that all these content creators give you. Do research on competitors, on topics that people want to do. And among all the things that I knew I had to do to learn how to be a YouTuber, this was the biggest thing for which I had problems. And I understood only at the end why. So I did the homework. I told him my topics, what I wanted to talk about, spirituality, relationships, life purpose, all of this stuff. And he gave me a list of both on Instagram and YouTube of all these competitors that were talking about the same things. And he told me, you have to copy them. Similar title, similar format, do exactly a video like them, same length, exactly like them, same pace of talking, and you're sure that you're going to grow. I was like, okay. So I tried to do that. I did the research, the thing that I was hating to do the most all the time, because my point when I started on YouTube, I was like, I want to speak about whatever I want to speak about. Like, I don't really want to do the SEO optimized videos, search content thing. Like, I just want to talk about what I want to talk about. And what happened is that he would give me feedback day by day. Oh, and he told me that I had to post every single day, multiple times a day, on Instagram and YouTube, shorts, to grow, right? So I went on with it. I started doing what he was telling me. But I could not really do the things, I could not really talk about the things that he sent me that the competition was talking about, because I didn't resonate with those content, those were not mine, that was not my truth. So I could not copy them, I could not do the same things that they were doing, right? So what I would do, I would talk anyway about the topics that I was saying, more niche down, but still talking about what I wanted to do, so not doing what he was telling me. And so what happened is that he started to give me feedback, like, oh, you need a hook here, you need a call to action here, this is, too much, the writing needs to be there, you're speaking English too bad, too slowly, too fast, all this stuff. So basically he was giving me a clear feedback with all of my videos. And then I tried to adjust myself into those things, but then he was pushing me, because I was not having the result that he was expecting, obviously, because he's somebody that probably, I don't know how many thousands he gets every day. He started to say, but are you doing the research? Are you copying those creators? Are you doing the same things that they're doing? That was the moment when something clicked into my mind. And that's when I realized that if you want to grow like them, like they say, like as fast as possible, following these rules, these golden rules that everybody apparently follow and apparently get results immediately, you have to give up something. And that thing that you give up is your truth, is your heart, is your authenticity. He wanted to make me a carbon copy of other content creators about my niche. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, please go ahead. Like, you know, all these people, like, he got real results from his clients, and obviously. But if you're somebody that values truth, if you're on social media because you feel you have something to share from your heart and not because you just want to make a business out of it, I don't know if that makes sense, but if you want to speak your truth, that will never work for you. It's kind of like there is a choice here to be made. Like, do you want to grow on social media because you want to grow and make money out of it? Or are you on social media because you have a message to share? Which one is it? Because if you have a message to share, I can guarantee you that nobody else has given that message before you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that message to share. And so, all these tips don't work with you. Don't work with saying, look for competition, look for the gaps within the topics they talk about, look what do people want to know. It doesn't work, because if you just want to grow, it means that you have to compromise what you really want to talk about, what really is important for you, who you truly are. You have to basically become like all the others. You have to do all the things that all the others say. And I'm not saying not to follow the tips for those that are obviously successful. But I think that it's important to distinguish what serves your true purpose, which is sharing your message, sharing your truth, sharing the value that you want to provide, and just doing it to grow. Because don't you also notice that these content creators that create these videos all in the same way, don't you get bored after 2 videos that you watch them? Like, super niche down, super about that. Like, I understand the strategy is clear, just to give what people want and just give them continuously topics that they want, so that, you know, they will follow you and they will continue to stay. But when you, as a consumer, watch these content creators, these channels, don't you get bored after 3 of their videos? I do. Like, this guy that he posts 1 video on YouTube per day and he has over 700k followers and many others like him. Like, I watch 1 or 2 videos from them and then I'm done. Like, I'm like, okay, you told me everything I need to know. I'm moving on. Like, so yes, you got your objective to get me to follow you, to watch some of my videos, to even sell me something, a coaching call, but you have given me everything that you needed to give me. And when I find all of these content creators with all the same messages, similar content, similar videos, like all the same, I'm like, I ask you, do you want to be like them? Do you want to be as similar as all these creators just because the algorithm has shown that it works? Because this algorithm, it's like all those movies on Netflix, they're all the same because they crack the algorithm. They understand what viewers want. But do you remember them? Can you distinguish them? Can you remember who they are? Because they were all the same and they provided the same algorithm over and over again. Can you remember them? Or who is it that you remember? Those that stand out from all the others. So who do you want to be? One among millions that, yeah, they all have big channels and money and they grow their business? Or do you want to be the ones that just are true to their heart, to their truth, and just speak whatever they want to speak about without falling into a niche? I mean, honestly, even I get bored in doing the same videos about the same topics over and over again. Like, I can imagine somebody that watches me like every day. It's normal, right? I believe it's more fulfilling for both the person that creates and the person that watches to create whatever you want to create about and just be you and whatever you feel you want to share. So this is for you to choose who you want to be. The algorithm, the perfect algorithm, that they're all the same. For example, look at those yoga channels. Like, I do yoga following all these yoga teachers, but I don't remember a single name of these, honestly. Like, like they're all the same. Yoga with Adrian, yoga with Marley, yoga with the little whatever thing. They're all the same. Like, every single time that I open my thing in the morning to do yoga, I get a new video. I'm like, oh, I love her video. And then I find out it's another one. It's a different one. But they're all the same. Like, they copy all each other's. It's kind of like I cannot remember the face of these girls until I open up, I see, and they all speak in the same way, the same tone of voice, the same music, they have all copied each other, and they all have hundreds of thousands of followers. Absolutely, I'm not saying that. But what do you want? Do you want to be one among millions that are all the same, or do you want to be you? So this is a lesson for those that just want to be themselves and don't want to give up their truth and their authenticity by following these programs that say the same things, that you find online like over and over again. This is my lesson that I learned, and I took a big choice after that. I quit my coaching program after 2 weeks, so I didn't even go to the 1 month. I just told him, thank you, but I don't think this works for me. And that was it. Like, that was it. And I took my core choice to say, I'm going to speak whatever the hell I want that is important to me. Like, the truth that is important for me. If you niche down, I believe that you limit yourself to something that people want, but you don't want to speak about what people want. You want to speak about what you want, because you know that if there's a message that you need to speak, there is also somebody that needs to hear that message. And I choose to trust that. So I believe you can choose to trust it as well. Oh, I mean, if you want to be like all the others that I cannot remember the name or the face. Like they're all the same. Like they're all the same. If you want to be one of them and have, yes, sure money, safe growth, then absolutely be my guest. But the choice is yours, and it's a choice that every content creator needs to do eventually. And another thing, looking all of these content creators, this is the last point that I'm going to bring. You know what many say when they got to 500K and they start to do these videos about the lessons that I wish I learned, starting. You know what they say, all of them? I wish I started to talk about what I truly wanted before. Because what they all say is that they niched down, they talked for years and years and years about the same thing. And then they saw they were bored and they wanted to talk about something else. And they said, but all the people that I got, they care about those topics, not about me, not what I wanted to talk about. And I really resonate with that. Like, think about growing your channel, like doing all that work, like all of that, and then getting to 500K and they say, you know what, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, I'm bored. Like for me, that would, seriously, like if I talk about the same things over and over for more than 2-3 videos, I get bored. Like, it's my truth, so I love to talk about that. But I need to change with different topics. I need to share more about other things that I'm learning, because we always grow, we always evolve. So, I want to speak about the other things that I learned. And yes, staying true to my truths, to the core truths, but not speaking about the same thing over and over again. That's it. That's my take on all of this. And if you are like me, if this message touched you, then you can freely choose now what you truly want to do. You have a new perspective to realize. From somebody that, at the point, don't have a lot of followers, but if you're somebody from the future and you're watching this from 5 years from now or whatever, and I am over, 50K followers, if you come from the future, you're that person, I want to know from you, in the comments what you think about that and if I was right. So, yeah, but if you're from the present, well, you can also share your opinion, but yeah. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.